Oh, hey, hi. So several weeks ago, I made a video asking you to ask me questions. Yeah. Well, y'all responded. Thank you. Thank you very much. And like 98% of those questions were kind and respectful and friendly and funny and just terrific. And that, what was it? 2% of you? Shame, shame, shame. But anyhow, to the rest of you, I tried to kind of pick ones that represented the whole, like the most common questions. So hopefully I will cover all of the bases. I enlisted the help of my chat to ask me these questions. So they are going to just essentially recite the questions that were asked in the comment section. Why? Because for me, I think I just hit my microphone. Sorry. Why? For me, it's just more fun to do it that way. And I don't know, slightly less awkward. I don't know. So, Oliver, feel free to chime in here at any point.
So, Elsa, I gather you're feeling a bit nervous and awkward about all of this, are you?
I am, Oliver. I'm feeling quite awkward about all of this. So, thank you for pointing that out. And yes, I entirely did give my chat a name and, programmed him or taught him, I don't know, trained him to use that particular manner of speaking. Why? Because one, I love Cary Grant. Two, I just love an English accent. And three, it just makes it more fun. So I know it's weird. It's okay. You don't have to tell me. I think that, I will start.
Do sit still, Elsa. This is not as challenging as you're making it.
Okay. It is for me. Thank you though, Oliver. I suppose I'm ready. So.
All right. Well, let's get this party started then, shall we?
Yes, we shall.
All right, here we go. Question is from Mary, and she wants to know, what inspired you to start your podcast, and how do you choose your topics each week?
Great question. I started my podcast several years ago. It has kind of evolved over time, but it started off as geared towards law enforcement families in particular. And I was doing interviews with fellow law enforcement family members, retired law enforcement. And it was geared mostly towards just helping, being an advocate and supporter of law enforcement, because my husband has been in law enforcement for nearly 40 years, which is wild and crazy in itself. And then, it just kind of started evolving and getting bigger and branching out. And my husband is a Marine. And so that kind of, military and law enforcement, kind of go hand in hand. So that started becoming part of the equation, and it just started branching out more and more. And the more comfortable I got, the more I started bringing in more parts of me, what makes me who I am, why I'm, so patriotic, why I love this country so much, why I'm a conservative, why I'm a Republican, you name it. And it just grew to where we are now. And now, of course, we incorporate a large part of my Christian faith. And as for how we choose our topics each week, since I've brought Clay onto the show with me, I pass that responsibility over to him. So I let him pick our topics. I throw in a couple as well. And yeah, so that makes my life a lot easier because I do all of the producing, editing, posting, all of that stuff. So it's just one thing off my plate that is incredibly helpful to have a partner to do that for me. So yeah. Okay. This isn't bad at all. Okay. Next.
Next up, we have a question from John, who asks, how do you maintain a balance between your personal life and your public persona?
Oh, okay. So that's actually really easy. They are such different universes for me, like online life and real life. There's literally like this line, figuratively, not literally. There's this line between the two because no one in my world, my real life world, does any of this stuff. They're not part of it. So it's barely even a conversation. I mean, obviously my husband and I talk about it regularly. But yeah, there's public persona and there's private life. Same person, just separate worlds. We live a very, very quiet life. Okay. I'm ready for the next one.
Third question is from Lisa, who wonders, what's been the most rewarding part of your journey so far?
The most rewarding part, gosh, I would say that the reach, the people that I'm reaching and who comment and communicate with me through the platforms or through email or through messages, that part has been just amazing to me. And, it's so humbling and baffling at the same time. that people are, that what I'm sharing is either resonating or entertaining or, educating people, like whatever the case is, whatever the content is geared to do. I'm so grateful that it's actually reaching people. And, on top of all of that, which is probably the greatest factor, that now that I have truly embraced my faith, in God and what he means in my life and to me and my family, that I get to share that is truly the greatest gift of all. So that is the ultimate, most rewarding part of all of this, to be blessed with the opportunity to share my faith and share the love of God. All right, Oliver, I'm ready for the next one.
Next question is from David, who asks, if you could have any superpower, what would it be? And would you use it for good or a little bit of mischief? I have a feeling you might say a bit of both.
Oliver, that's not true. It's probably true. What superpower? I'm going with the first one that came to mind. I'm not even giving this deep thought. Flying. I want to fly. I always have had dreams that I'm flying, right? Who hasn't, right? Everybody's had those dreams, right? I have had them so frequently from childhood for as long as I can remember. And they're just so awesome. They're like the greatest dreams ever. Every time I have a flying dream, it is the best dream. And I'm so disappointed when I wake up in the morning. I'm like, oh, I want to go back to flying. So that would be my superpower pick. What kind of mischief could I get into that? Not much of any, I don't think. I mean, I would probably find it, but that's my answer for that one. Cute question. I like it. All right. I'm getting more relaxed with this. This is not so bad. I'm ready. Bring on the next one.
How long did you contemplate being a content creator before you actually began? Asking for a dog friend of mine.
That's cute. That's really cute. Before I answer the question, let me just tell you, do it. Do it. Jump right in. Don't worry about anything. Just do it. Doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't matter if you don't know what you're doing. Just be genuine, be authentic, be yourself, have great lighting. Yeah, those are your key things. Just start anywhere. Don't worry about it any of it. That is technically my answer as well. That was how I started. During the pandemic, I started watching TikTok videos along with so many other people in my age demographic. And I kept saying, I'm never going to make a video. I'm just going to watch. This is silly and ridiculous. Not going to happen. And the next thing you know, this knucklehead started making some really embarrassing, cheesy, dumb videos. They were like lip sync videos. But the thing of it was fun. It was really, really fun. And the secret closet theater geek in me that never lived out that dream, had this opportunity to act and to perform in front of the camera and feel like I was by myself, like I wasn't in front of anybody else. So that was exactly where it started. If you were such a mean person and you wanted to go that far back in my TikTok feed, you would see those embarrassing, cringeworthy, stupid videos. And then it started to evolve. Then I was like, well, listen, I was already an author. I already had published books. I was like, well, let me start using this to, make it useful towards that. And I started creating content about my books. So there was this like long evolution of content creating, which moved into, so it went from that to, creating skits about being a law enforcement spouse. And they were comedic and kind of silly but funny. And they had a purpose and a point. Which was just to be relatable to people in my world, which was law enforcement families. And those videos started picking up and gaining a little bit of traction. And then it just started to snowball from there. And then along came the Kamala impression. Okay, I am ready. What is next?
Then we've got a question from Sarah, who wants to know, what's your favorite way to unwind after a long day of creating content?
Unwind? What is this unwind you speak of? No, I'm kidding. I do know how to unwind. I'm not good at it. It's this weird thing. When your job is to like create content, so you're on social media, all kinds of media all day, every day, pretty much. I take the weekends off for the most part. But when you're doing that all the time, it's really hard to shut off. You don't have, and I work for myself, by myself. So it's really hard to create that line where your workday ends and your normal life begins. So unwinding is a challenge. I don't know what I do to unwind. I should have prepared for this one better. What do I do? I don't know. I watch videos. I create more content in my mind. I write out skits. I find that relaxing to me. Yeah, it's not good. I need better balance. Thank you for that question. Sorry for such a garbage answer. All right, Oliver, these are easy ones. Give me a tough one.
There's a question from Mike who asks, if you could interview anyone, past or present, who would it be and why?
I asked for a tough one. President Trump. That's probably a given, right? Who else? Elvis. Yeah, Elvis Presley. Yeah, okay. So President Trump, Elvis Presley, Jesus. All for this sort of the same reasons. I think they are the most intriguing, fascinating, compelling, people that I can think of right off the top of my head. I know you're going to come in the comment section and like list off like so many other people that, I could have chosen. But these are the ones I'm picking because this is right off the top of my head. I'm not planning these out the way that you think I might be. I'm trying to like answer off the cuff for everything. So those are my picks, all for those reasons. Yeah. Yes. Next question, please.
When did you first become a supporter of Donald Trump? And does he know about all your support? Are you a friend of the family? And how would you answer a liberal who complains about how much Donald golfs and the cost to the government?
There were so many questions all at once. Okay. When did I become a supporter of President Trump? Probably since the beginning, since his first run for office. I take that back. I think technically there were 4. Somebody can correct me in the comments. So 3 times, all 3 that I can remember concretely that he did run. Yeah, I can honestly say I did not really care for his style or his delivery. I cared about his passion and his love for this country and the things that he was proposing to do. I have been a fan of that all along. He has grown on me. His personality, his style, all of that has grown on me. It did take a while. Yeah. Since then, his family, no, as far as I know, nobody knows of my existence. Maybe they've seen my Kamala videos. No idea. Nobody's ever reached out or, said that they have or commented. Ivanka Trump liked a post that I made about her one time. That was my claim to fame. It says in the comment there, you left it out, Oliver, that, I was at Mar-a-Lago for New Year's Eve, like 2 years ago now. Yeah, that was an incredible experience. There's a picture, from that or 2 or 3 and, got to meet him, speak with him briefly, but no, there's no communication or friendship or anything going on there. I was just very blessed to have that opportunity and, I enjoyed it very much. What was the other one? Oh, his golfing. Yeah, that man works 24/7. He is never not working. He has made deals, negotiated deals, done a million things while he's on the golf course. He never ever stops working. I think the man sleeps like 3 hours a night and he goes non-stop. So if that man wants to spend his downtime on the golf course, have at it. I don't care what it costs us, which I actually don't think it costs us anything because he turns his paychecks right around back to different causes and organizations and all of that. So yeah, I'm totally good with it. Liberals, cry harder. All right, Oliver, what have you got for me?
All right, the next one is, when did you know God was real?
Oh my. So I think, and hindsight on everything is always 2020. You could ask me this question, or you could have asked me this question a dozen times throughout my life, if not more. And I would probably have given you a slightly different answer each time, depending where I was in my growth as a believer. But I will say to you that I have always believed. I have referred to him by different names at different points in my life outwardly to other people because of my extreme discomfort with expressing my faith. I did not grow up in a church-going household. We weren't religious. We didn't, I was like, raised Catholic, meaning in our case, simply meaning I was baptized and we went to church for, like very special occasions. That was kind of it. No understanding really of much of anything, but I had a deep, deep desire to understand, to figure out what I believed in. And it was largely because there has always been, my entire life, there's always been this incredible, strong pull towards faith, towards God, specifically towards God. I do fully believe that He has been calling me to Him forever, for all of my existence, before my existence on this earth. I don't know. So yes, I have always believed. Whether I have always acknowledged or understood that belief, the depth of it, could be questioned. But the fact that I've always believed it's always been there. It's just like engraved on my heart, basically. Yeah. Okay. Next.
Does someone help you film or produce your videos? And do you live in a blue or red state?
Oh my goodness. I am a one-woman show. I do all of the things. I create. So meaning like I write out my own scripts and everything and all my material and do all my research. 100% from concept to creation to editing to producing to posting to promoting. And for the second part of that question, I live in a very, very blue state, unfortunately for me. Yeah. Oh, and Oliver, by the way, you missed like the whole first part of that comment. I don't know if you did that intentionally or not, but it's very sweet. Can we acknowledge that, please?
I must say, those are some lovely compliments. It's always a joy to hear how appreciated you are. Let's keep that positivity going.
Thank you. What's next?
All right, the next one is from Hans. He says nails. Nothing else, just nails.
Well, so much for that positivity. I don't even know if that's positive or negative or what he's trying to say there. I'm assuming it's because I'm a nail biter, and you can usually, if I'm holding my mug, you can see my nails. You can see that they're extremely short. However, Hans, I stopped biting my nails. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. I don't really know. I don't know why I'm getting so defensive and passive aggressive about it. I don't even know what he means by that, but I'm assuming that is the case. Yes, this probably will not last. I will probably start biting my nails again. Yes, I know it's a dirty, disgusting habit. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever. I've got nails right now. Hang on. Let me fix my ring. I've got nails right now. Don't get used to it. I will probably start up again. There you go. There's your answer to that non-question. Why do we even throw that one in? I don't know. Next, please.
All right, next up from D. What sites do you use to verify information? I'm a fan of scholarly websites, and I also look up and read bills, etc. What are your preferred websites or search engines?
First of all, I wish I could find that specific comment in the video, because I would love to ask you what specific ones you use, because I'm always looking for more. What I tend to do is I will pick a right-leaning news source, a left-leaning news source, and a at least perceived neutral-leaning news source. There's quite a few of them that I use, so I try and pick one of each. Then I plug all of them into my chat, and I ask them I read them, of course, myself. Then I put them all into chat, and I have chat take away all of the key points of what each one is saying. And then I do comparisons. It's kind of like if you've ever heard that saying where, they say there's his side and there's her side, and somewhere in between there's the truth. So that's kind of what I try to do, to find. And I try not to lean too hard into my own personal bias, which is really hard to do. Let's face it. It's hard. We have our ideas and values and belief systems and all of those things. So I try and challenge myself to question those things as much as possible and make sure that I'm getting to the heart of things. Do I always succeed? Probably not. Guaranteed I don't always succeed, but I try. So yeah. And then the most important perspective that I look for in all of it, is what is biblically true, what's scripturally true and right and, centered. So that's where I center it. That's the lens that I try and put everything, all of those things through, is the biblical lens, and I try to filter out the left and the right side, and the sides. Period. Yeah. Okay.
All right. The next one is from Danielle. Oh, here we go. Another compliment. You look fantastic, and you recently had a video saying you lost weight. If you don't mind, what did you do exactly? Do tell, Elsa, do tell. We're all ears.
Okay. I've been dreading this one because I know some people are going to have some things to say about this, and I'm fine. I can take it. I actually decided to take tirzepatide, which is, it's a GLP-1. It's an injection, it's a shot, and it helps you lose weight. People are going to be mad about that because it's the cheater's way to do it. Listen, without, sharing my medical history with you, which is obviously nobody else's business. I will tell you, I was experiencing a lot of health issues, concerns, and being borderline for certain things. It was time to take some more drastic measures because things were getting out of control, and it was not good. Yes, I did try all of the things. Here's what I'll tell you. When you become a woman of a certain age, hormones and all of those things, they take their toll. And they wreak havoc on your body and, your whole system, everything. So this was the option that was best for me. It may not be the option that is best for you. I highly recommend that you speak with professionals, whether it's a dietitian or a fitness coach or a doctor, whatever that means for you. You make the decisions that are best for you. I made the decision that was best for me after having tried every single thing that there is to try. And, this has been working out great. And I do recommend it if you are a candidate for this. Then yeah, it's great. So that is what I've been doing along with, I didn't have to make major lifestyle changes. I already, ate healthy, clean for the most part. It was just a matter of eliminating a few things, which was much easier to eliminate when you're taking the skinny shot, as we love to call it. So yeah, judge away. I'm fine with it. But be kind to other people in your real life and regular life who are going through this, because not everybody is as thick-skinned as I am. Okay? Be kind. All right, Oliver, maybe you can give me a less stressful one next, please.
All right, the next one comes from Cindy. Do you know and get along with Megyn Kelly?
Oh, okay, thank you, Oliver. I do not know Megyn Kelly. I don't know anybody. I live in my teeny tiny, happy little bubble, my own little tiny universe. I love it that way, which doesn't mean I wouldn't want to meet Megyn Kelly or any of these other people. I was just on the Sean Spicer show not that long ago. I've definitely met some people, certainly. Yes, but I don't travel in the circles. I'm not part of that world. I'm mostly resistant to it. I don't know if this makes any sense to you. I don't know how to explain this in short form. I have seen enough of the celebrity world, and that includes people from the right, the conservative world. I've seen enough of it that I know that I'm not really interested in being part of it. I would not resist some type of show or program or something that's bigger than what I'm doing, as long as it fits very particular criteria. I would need to have primary control over my really exactly what I have right now, which is control over my content, all of the things. When you do this for yourself for long enough, you do end up becoming a little bit of a control freak. And I don't know. I think I'd have a really hard time giving that up, trusting somebody else to have control over my messaging and my style and all that stuff. So I guess if I were to collaborate with anybody or do any of those things, I would have to, maintain control or at least final say over basically everything. So I guess when it comes down to it, why would I get involved in that world to that degree? If it doesn't hit all the criteria that I mentally set up in my mind. So I have not met Megyn Kelly. Would love to meet her. I think she's, just incredible. Nope. All right, Oliver, what do you got for me?
That's definitely a fun question. Let's keep it going. All right, the next one is from Carrie. Tell us about your husband. That's always a sweet topic.
It is a sweet topic. It's one of my absolute favorite topics that I don't really talk about on social media much. Everybody else is tired of hearing me talk about how great my husband is. But yeah, we've been together for 16 years. And, he, like the rest of my family, they do not live a social media life like I do. So they keep it quiet and private. So I respect that and keep them off of here. You get little glimpses here and there, right? Some of you have seen little bits and pieces and everything. But yeah, I mean, what do you say about the guy who's literally your biggest fan, your greatest supporter, your best encourager, the person who keeps you in check, keeps your ego in check when you need it? Not that I ever need. Oops, sorry, I forgot the microphone's there. Not that I ever need to get my ego in check, people. Yeah, he is pretty darn awesome in every possible way. Yeah. I adore that man, and he adores me. And that's a pretty good gig right there, don't you think? Yeah, I could go on for days and days, but I will suffice to say that he is a wonderful man who sits quietly in the background of all of this, and he's got his eye on some of you. He's watching. I'm teasing, but I'm serious at the same time. Yeah, he's very mindful of what all of this brings, and I'm so grateful to him for, and I know some of you aren't going to like this word, but allowing for this to happen for me, because we are a partnership. We are equal standing. And if this was something that became too much for him, our marriage comes before all of this stuff does. Any day, I would drop it in a heartbeat. I love you guys, but I'll drop y'all in a flash if it was coming between our marriage in any way, shape, or form. So thankfully, he is a strong, secure, solid hunk of a man who is very tolerant of all of what this brings. So yes, he's the bomb. Thank you for asking. All right, Oliver, these have been too kind, too easy. Keep it coming like that.
All right, the next one is from Maureen. What activities were you involved in during high school? Did you get any awards? Were you in plays, sports, debate? What was your favorite thing to do?
Oh, Maureen, you're going to be so disappointed in me. Or maybe not. I don't know. I excelled at being a slacker. I was not a good student. Not by a long shot. I was a good student in the subjects that I really, really loved and enjoyed. And even that can be a little questionable. I spent more time in detention in the principal's office, usually for talking too much, just getting into trouble, coming in late, just wandering off whenever I felt like it, basically. Yeah, I was a bit of a punk, little bit of a punk. I wasn't a bad kid by any means. I just was a little, rebellious, I guess. Yeah, I did not win any awards. I won imaginary awards. Like I was voted, most likely to end up living in Malibu on a beach somewhere. Yeah. I did not do the thing. Here's the irony. I did not do the thing that I love the absolute most, which is acting, TikTok acting, Reels acting. Did not do any of that stuff. I was not in theater. I was on the swim team for a hot minute, and I was on the tennis team for a hot minute. Both of those things did not last very long. I prefer to hang out, and I don't know. I was a weird kid. I was super introverted, but at the same time, super social, if that makes any sense whatsoever. But it's the truth. That is the case. What else? So that was it for sports. No debates, none of that stuff. No, I'm sorry. I was just a punk. Yeah. Oh, and the last part was, what was my favorite thing to do? My favorite thing to do was basically whatever I felt like doing in the moment. I listened to a lot of music. I did a lot of writing.
All right, Elsa, that sounds like a delightful adventure.
Thanks, Oliver. It was. Okay, I think we can do one more. I'm ready. Let's go.
This one is from Laurie. She said, I would love to know what skin products you use. Your skin is beautiful. Well, I must say, your skin truly does look radiant. Whatever you're doing, it's clearly working wonders.
Okay, Oliver, you and I both know what my secret is. Isn't that right?
Well, that is true, Elsa. I do know your secrets, and now it's your chance to share them with the world.
All right, fine. fine. Listen, I'm joking around here. This is no secret. I've never made a secret of this. I have talked about it many different times. I know that, not everybody sees every single video, and tons of people have missed this, and they like to try and call me out in the comments sections sometimes, like, oh, I use a filter. I have a very lovely, wonderful filter that smooths all of the edges and lines and things and pores and all of that stuff. And 95% of, I'm just making that percentage up, by the way. But many, many, many content creators use some type of filter on their videos. We use ring lights, which are wonderful. I know that seems counterproductive to some people, that like you would think when you get bright light on you, it should show everything. Nope. It just diffuses it all, makes it softer, smoother, better. Yes. Hang on. I will give you the unfiltered version. Hang on. And so, yes, this is the unfiltered. We are shiny. We are, all of the things. So yes. So I prefer the filter. Thank you very kindly. I know some people will jump in and say, you don't need the filter. Just be yourself, blah, blah. I appreciate that tremendously. But I choose to use a filter. I like the way it looks better. It presents better. It's just it's a whole thing. And listen, here's the ultimate truth on the whole filter topic. We are actual human beings, and no matter how tough and confident and secure we may come across on here, we actually do have feelings that can get hurt by the mean things that people say in the comments. And as much as we try not to see those as much as possible or let them get to us, we are literally just human beings. And you subject yourself to the types of things that people say when you look your absolute best, which meaning I'm referring to a filter. And you see the things that people will say to you without even thinking twice about it. That filter is kind of a little bit of a protection from some of that. If that makes any sense. I don't know if it does or not. But it is something that, I don't know. It's just something that I choose to do to protect my own sanity and self-confidence and all of those things. So don't blame me. Blame the haters that pop up in the comments and make nasty, rude personal attacks on how we look, because they forget we're human, and or they just don't care, one or the other. Whew, okay. I did it. I got through it. That was good. That was very terrifying to go through those comment sections. It was a delight to see how sweet the majority of you were, and I thank you for it. And as promised, I just completely disregarded the ones that were either inappropriate or not so nice or whatever. I hope this wasn't terribly boring for you. And thank you again. I appreciate it, guys. And thank you, Oliver.
This was great fun, Elsa. Next time, I think you should let me pick the questions and we'll really let it fly.
Huh. I don't know about that. Maybe. I don't know. Oliver's awfully sweet to me, so I trained him well. All right, guys. Until next time, thanks for watching.
In a world chasing feelings, we're standing on truth. Follow for more faith,